Okay, so BLM is calling for riots over Daniel Penny manslaughter verdict. This is absolutely insane because these are the type of things that would lead us to another civil war if it's not held accountable.
The co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York, I stand here heartbroken because I have to hug a father who knows that the murderer of his son will most likely go free, who has to look in the face of a jury that no matter the facts, no matter the expert witnesses, no matter the people yelling on that train that day to let Jordan go, you will kill him. They will not find.
Now, this is the problem with blacks. When, not blacks, but just these black organizations, BLM, etc., they will constantly try to push out the emotional narrative. They'll bring out reasons and excuses for you to be emotional before selling their point. To me, I feel like it's pure manipulation. Stick to the facts. Let's get down to the facts. It doesn't matter how people feel, because we all feel all kind of ways. We all wish we could have more money. We all wish we could have perfect days. So those things are kind of somewhat irrelevant. What we care about is the facts.
A white man guilty of killing a black man in modern day America. This is no different than Jim Crow. This looks like a picture out of the picture book when you look at that anonymous jury. We have baby boomers who were there doing Jim Crow on this jury. We have young people who are looking at Daniel Penny as a hero. And what America is a hero, a killer. He didn't give a crap about Jordan. The medical examiners.
Now, this is the thing that I don't like how disingenuous it is. And here you get the people that'll be saying I'm tap dancing when I say this. Nigga, we have black people that look at some horrible black people as heroes. Like, truthfully. We even look at Hispanic cartel leaders as heroes. I don't see any cartel members that have black people up at their houses and posters, but you have black people with cartel members as heroes and things and whatnot. And you're talking about someone that genuinely was trying to save the life of people that was on that train. And you're saying that he's not a hero. Like, this person never say that he tried to catch bodies. He never tried to claim that he's a gangster. Penny never claimed that he was just some, vicious force of nature. So for her to go out and make it seem like it's wrong with people calling him a hero, it's like, dude, you're talking about a culture. You're talking about a culture that's main selling point in its music of choice, being hip hop, is about killing each other. You can't make this up. The main selling point in hip hop is how you can kill another nigga. So these people are our heroes. You can't tell me that a young black man, a white man, can't look at Daniel Penny as a hero if you got people that are considered to be rappers as a career part-time and say that they are a career criminal full-time, and you allow these people to be heroes and you say Penny can't. It's just absolutely absurd. And I don't want to talk this off. You know my reaction channel, I don't try to over talk on these things, but I have to stress how stupid it is to say that, oh, it's a Jim Crow. Dude, what are you talking about? You got white people that was there, that's in the jury during the Jim Crow era. It doesn't mean that reflects who they are. Hell, Joe Biden used to bust people out. What about Joe Biden with the busing? So I'm trying to figure out, it doesn't matter if someone was alive during that era. Does that automatically reflect them? Does it automatically reflect who you are if you're alive during an era? Hell, we could say that we were alive during the LGBTQ era. Does that mean everyone right now is gay? This is crazy. It's absolutely absurd. I can't stand when they get these loud black people a mic and a camera because they tell them to be louder than everyone else and make sure you don't have to spit no facts. Just get the people emotional. They use us as a political ploy, and she is inciting violence and terrorism on American citizens over the actions of a man in a Michael Jackson suit that couldn't keep his damn hands to himself.
Said Jordan turned purple. Yes, black people can turn purple when they're denied oxygen. Every lab report showed he died of asphyxiation. And that doesn't matter because they want to spare a white man the penalty of his crimes. America has not changed, and I hate to say it, it may never change. And people who keep asking, are we going to riot? Are we going to protest? Is that what's needed? Do glass have to break? Do cars have to burn for a black man to get justice in America? We can't show up with peace. We can't show up with facts. We can't show up with evidence and witness after witness. You give us nothing.
The problem is you can't show up with facts, evidence, whatever that you might want to show up with. If you lose that case, it wasn't as strong as the opposing party. That's called a political justice system. That's the fairness of it. You can't win everything. It's like, see, they're creating these characters for black people that make it look like we go and cry when we can't get our way, when we can't win. Nigga, Young Thug just got freed. He's known as a gangster. His name is Lily Young Thug. This place is supposed to be so racist. White people got him the hell out of jail. So I'm trying to figure out, what is this? Listen, it's a case-by-case scenario for each thing. This is the same type of person that was crying about Kyle Rittenhouse when he stamped 3 people, and none of them, he shot at 3 people. Neither of them are being being black. None of the people that Kyle Rittenhouse shot at were black. But the most people that were making a noise about it were blacks. So it's crazy to me. It's like, dude, you can't look at every single scenario. It's a case-by-case thing. You have white people that get a slap on the wrist. Black people get slapped on the wrist. The only thing that I might disagree with over this whole scenario is, once this dude was subdued and he didn't appear to be a threat to anyone, he could have released him. But at the same time, if he has a weapon in the heat of the moment, we can't say how we're going to react. We can't say how we're going to react. This young man, Jordan Neely, has multitude of charges. Now, I can't say I don't believe in changing and retribution. I believe in a God. I believe we can be redeemed. Even without a God, we could be redeemed. You don't have to have a world where a God exists to have redemption, good and bad. And so with that being said, I believe in redemption. However, I also believe in following trends. And if you compare their 2 records and their 2 ways of life, Neely appears to be the person that would have been the antagonist. And it does not mean judging the book by its cover gives us the full scenario, but it gives us something to go off of. And I'm going off a long history of violence from Neely versus Penny, this appears to be his first interaction.
And then you ask us to love this country. America hates black people, and we see it from that jury pool.
Get your black ass out of here. I can't stand
A black man
so
was
annoying.
lynched, and his name was Jordan Neely.
Pick. Call him a hero. How? Would Daniel Penny be a hero if Jordan Neely was white? No.
Yes.
He'd be a man that went too far.
The nigga would have been considered a hero. Bro, white people don't care. Listen, it don't matter. He'd have been a hero. If a man is on a train and there's people talking about he's going to stab people, talking about they feeling that fear for their life, white folks don't care. White folks will clap the loudest when their own kind falls. White people don't be caring about that shit. A white person don't care if he was white or black. A white person does not care. A white person cares that he was putting other people at danger. That's what they would care about. Like, bro, there are plenty of times where white people are the greatest enemies of someone that is in the media being white. It is absolutely absurd. It is absolutely absurd to go with this type of propaganda. It doesn't
That's America. Black lives do not matter to you. They didn't matter in the 2000s. They didn't matter in the 50s and 60s. They didn't matter in the 1800s.
This
Black
nigga stupid.
lives do not matter in America. Black people don't mean anything to
Can't
white
stand
America.
ignorant people, man. I can't stand ignorant people.
AOC, what do you think about government?
So you have this whole thing going on, these ignorant people talking about the 1800s. Oh, it just makes me want to. The first slave owner in America was a black man. I can't stand ignorant Negroes. I'm sorry, y'all. And this video is already going on longer than I wanted. I apologize for that. I don't like the yap that much, but this stuff is absurd. So the left has now decided that Jordan Neely is a hero to them, the Michael Jackson dude. Like, nigga needed to beat it. It's pissing me off the more I think about it. He needed to beat it. He's on a train being a disturbance, and now he's the hero of the left. AOC's pulling up to these parades for Jordan Neely. It's like, bro, we have to change this with the country. Our country has become a real problem. So you mean to tell me anytime someone is deemed a antagonist by one party, he's automatically a protagonist of another party? We are literally at the point where we're platforming fucking criminals for political ploy. What has happened? I'm only 30. Maybe this has been going on for a long time, but we are literally platforming criminals for political propaganda, for a narrative. It's disgusting. The older I get, the more I can see it for what it is. Like, it does not matter. As long as the Republicans don't like them, the Democrats like them. As long as the Democrats don't like them, Republicans like them. What's wrong with these parties, man? This shit has gotten crazy. I mean, I'm serious, dog. Look, I'm looking at y'all. Seriously. Imagine right now there was a mass shooting. The first thing that both parties are going to say is, I wonder what is he? Is he a transgender? Is he black? Is he BLM? Is he a Democrat? Is he a Trump supporter? Like, bro, we don't even care about the humanity no more. And this stuff, AOC pulling up romanticizing the whole situation, choosing a side. This whole choosing a side thing has to end. We need to start saying, okay, we stand unified against ignorance. We stand unified against crime. We stand unified against this division. But every time there's an antagonist in one party, the other party make that person a protagonist. And that creates, it extends the division. And that's for both parties. And I will give the left a little bit more criticism because they do it stronger and they do it far louder. So yeah, they do get more criticism. But please believe, both parties do this.
DeSantis calling Penny a good Samaritan.
I think you should read a Bible. Thank you.
AOC.
Read a Bible. Please.
There you go. Thank you.
That's all she had.
Penny told the pair of
That's all she had for the family, was to get a photo because she need that photo op. I mean, this stuff is fake.
detectives he was on his way to the gym after leaving class at City Tech from the J Street Metro Tech station in Brooklyn. At the 2nd Avenue stop, he said Neely got on, started to yell and threaten passengers.
Some guy came in, he's like, whipped his jacket off, and he's like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
Several witnesses took the stand, including NYPD Detective Brian McCarthy.
Now, those that's watching, that's the interrogation room with Penny. But I want you to pay attention that he was saying that I'm going to kill everybody. That's what he's claiming that Neely was saying, the black man, the faux Michael Jackson. So he was saying faux Michael Jackson was saying he's going to kill everyone. Now, this is very important because I got a witness statement that sounds very similar to what he claims.
Who interviewed Penny. McCarthy testified he didn't tell Penny that Neely had died during that 5th Precinct interrogation. And when Penny was questioned about why he decided to get involved in the first place, he said,
I'm not a confrontational guy. Like in the Marine Corps, I felt the need to step in. Yeah. There's women and children on the train.
Did you feel like someone's life was in danger?
100%.
I'm proud to see the American people actually rising up. You don't just vote every day, you vote with your dollars too. And I like to practice what I preach. And that's why I've been encouraging others. It wasn't just my donation. I've been encouraging others to do the same.
Vivek Ramaswamy is about to massively break down why Jordan is not that much of an innocent person like they try to claim him to be.
Same thing. Look, let's take the lesson of this day. Jordan Neely, this is somebody who should have never been on the streets free to do what he did. Abducted a 7-year-old, reportedly assaulted a 67-year-old. If the New York police departments had been doing their jobs, had been allowed to do their jobs, then this incident would have never happened. And I want to make sure that this individual who actually appears to have been taken out.
And for those that don't know, so Neely, he had been arrested. In 2015, Neely kidnapped a 7-year-old girl. In 2019, Jordan Neely punched a 64-year-old man in the face. In 2021, Neely slugged a 67-year-old woman in the face as she exited the subway. The subway, the same place, right? Breaking her nose and fracturing her orbital bone. Neely was arrested 44 times but never faced real justice for terrorizing New Yorkers. So Vivek was hitting it on the head. This dude should have never been walking out in the public. He already had a subway crime prior.
For a guy who was supposedly actually issuing threats to others on the train, I want to make sure he receives a fair defense. I think it's important that we regain confidence in the rule of law in this country. And I think it says that many Americans are hungry for the same thing, which I take as an encouraging sign for where the hearts and minds of citizens across this country really are.
East Village in Manhattan, so I take the subway multiple times a day. In this instance, I was coming from school. I got out of class.
And here is the defendant, the man who's now been exonerated from those charges, Daniel Penny, of course. He is the person now that is being deemed a hero from the conservatives and being deemed a villain from liberals. Basically, for those that haven't been following too carefully, it's a Kyle Rittenhouse situation 2.0. For those that haven't been following a Kyle Rittenhouse situation, it's a Martin Luther King and Malcolm X situation 3.0. I'm just kidding.
Around 2:15. And I took I was at J Street Metro Tech, took the Uptown F train. At 2nd Avenue, the man came on, stumbled on, he appeared to be on drugs. The doors closed and he ripped his jacket off and threw it at the people sitting down to my left. I was listening to music at the time, and he was yelling, so I took my headphones out to hear what he was yelling. And the 3 main threats that he repeated over and over was, I'm gonna kill you, I'm prepared to go to jail for life, and I'm willing to die. You know, this was a scary situation, and Mr. Neely came on. He was threatening. I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me, so it was. And there's a common misconception that Marines don't get scared. we're actually taught one of our core values is courage. And courage is not the absence of fear, but how you handle fear.
Handle it, yeah.
And, you know.
Brilliant. And you can tell by his posture, he's a Marine. You don't call Marines soldiers.
I was scared.
That's coming from a former soldier. I was in the Army.
For myself, but I looked around, I saw women and children. He was yelling in their faces, saying these threats. I couldn't just sit still. Some people say that I was holding on to Mr. Neely for 15 minutes. This is not true. I mean, between stops is only a couple minutes. So the whole interaction lasted less than 5 minutes. Some people say I was trying to choke him to death, which is also not true. I was trying to restrain him. You can see in the video, there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he's breathing. I'm trying to restrain him from him being able to carry out the threats. And then some people say that this was about race, which is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't see a black man threatening passengers. I saw a man threatening passengers, a lot of whom were people of color. The man who helped restrain Mr. Neely was a person of color.
And I'm glad that he mentioned that. The train was not filled with white kids. It was filled with Negroes. He was protecting niggas from themselves. He was literally being a white knight. I'm not cooning. I'm just saying this is what was happening. All them niggas looking at him wilding out. We ain't doing nothing. The white man go try to save the day. Come on, bro. And now we go out and try to make him a villain. We got to do better. God damn it. We got to do better. Because the things like this, it should never happen. I'm not saying that Neely deserves to die. You will have some radicals that'll go out to say that. It should have ended with his life. But he shouldn't have been wilding out. You ever see those type of people where the worst can happen and you figure out what led to it and you say, well, I can understand how that happened. It shouldn't have. That's my stance. I understand how it happened. And he should not go to jail. It's in the heat of the moment. Adrenaline is pumping. You're worried about others' lives and most importantly, your own. You're worried about your life too. Everyone can say what they would or wouldn't do. Obviously, a lot of people wouldn't do nothing because he was the one that acted. It's a terrible situation. But what happens if Neely goes out and breaks someone else's goddamn arm? Like, what happens? He's already hurt someone in the subway. This is a Marine trained to protect American citizens. He thought it was a threat. He reacted in the heat of the moment with the adrenaline pumping. And the first thing he did, right, not run to the back of the train, not try to make sure he's good. He tried to protect others. That's a real man, whether we like it or not. And it's a real scenario. We should be rallying for him. If we could rally for Rosa Parks, not for those that's about to click off. Understand why I say Rosa Parks. Did you know Rosa Parks had to ride the bus for weeks until they found someone to treat her poorly? Did you know it was staged? Did you know that Rosa Parks had a car? I just went on the show with the Hodge twins and I exposed this. Rosa Parks had a car. And even more importantly, she was a Eastern Star. A Masonic, female Masonic fraternity. I'm a lot of things. I'm not a liar. I get my facts together. Rosa Parks had to ride the bus for several weeks until she found someone to treat her poorly to create the psyop. This nigga is a real life Rosa Parks. Because he's being treated differently. He's being treated differently. If it was a Negro, the same way that they could say if it was a white man, they wouldn't call him a hero. Well, I'll tell you what. If it was a white man, y'all wouldn't be calling him a villain.
A few days after the incident, I read in the papers that a woman of color came out and called me a hero. I don't believe that I'm a hero.
And I got that too. That's coming right after this.
But she was one of those people that I was trying to protect. We were all scared. Mr. Neely was yelling in these passengers' faces, and they looked terrified. The reason why there was no video at the start of the altercation was because people were too afraid getting away from him. And the videos didn't start until they saw that situation was under control. I knew I had to act, and I acted in a way that would protect the other passengers, protect myself, and protect Mr. Neely. I used this hold to restrain him, and I did this by leaving my hand on top of his head to control his body. You can see in the video there's a clear rise and fall of his chest indicating that he was still breathing. And I'm calibrating my grip based on the force that he's exerting. And I was trying to keep him on the ground until the police came. I was praying that the police would come and take this situation over. I didn't want to be put in that situation, but I couldn't just sit still and let him carry out these threats.
There's two young ladies right here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here's the black
what
woman.
did you see?
What did I see?
Family, here's the black woman that I was talking about that I had for you guys. Here's the witness.
I was sitting over there, I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, you know, hey, I'm willing to die, you know? I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care.
That's the same thing that was said. That's the same thing that Daniel Penny claimed Neely was saying, verbatim.
And he was saying it so loud that everyone turned around. So this young man, he got belligerent and he tackled him down. The one that just passed away in the ground jack.
So that's what it is. That's what it is. It's not as black as white as people want it to be. And, you know, the entire internet is divided over this. It really is divided over this. But it's not a George Floyd situation. It's something that it'll be here today and gone tomorrow because Trump's president. But expect more of this because Trump's president. Expect more media division because Trump's president. Will be president, but I hope you guys understand what I mean. If not, for those that might not know, Trump isn't president until next year, until he's sworn in. I think January 19th or something. It's going to be on MLK Day. So please like, comment, subscribe on this post. You knew it was coming. And if you knew that was coming, you're about to take the words out of my mouth because you know what I'm about to say next. Please click the notification bell to stay updated. Appreciate you guys. Much love. The view average has gone up, and that's all thanks to y'all. I'm watching it. I am watching it, and I am ecstatic about it. Trust me. I am so excited about where this channel is going. Thank you, guys.